I don't know what is that. I was getting an alert. Don't see nothing, dude. What up, sad boy? Evergreens, what is up, man? How you guys doing? Let me see if this works. Alright, that works. What up, Ups? How you doing, man? Alright, seems everything looks like it's working. Phone Dabber, what is up, man? How you doing? Now we're gonna try to do it. You know what? Let's just do zero build, bro. There's more people playing zero build. Bruh. Bruh. Alright. What up, Michael? How you doing? Luke, what is up, man? How you guys doing? Alright. Oh, the new Scooby and Shaggy are out, bro. If you guys want to use my creator code Game with Surge, go ahead, bro. If you guys want to scope it out, get it. If you're gonna use my creator code Game with Surge. I wonder if they have back blings. I didn't check that out. Uh, uh, I need some shockwaves. Told you. Alright. Damn it. Alright. Let's. So, what we're gonna do? Alright. We're gonna kill somebody with our shockwaves, bro. On regular match instead of rank. A lot of people not playing ranked. Getting annoying. Shockwaves. Alright. Alright. The whole game. I thought I needed it, but I didn't. Alright. I don't know. I was gonna buy more chocolates, but I think we'll be good with these. Hey, what up, Danny Ortega? Oh crap. Ha, dude. Ah. This guy just... He's trash, bro. I wasn't even paying attention. What up, Christina Garza? Thanks for the likes, man. I appreciate you. I think I remember you. You used to come to the stream a lot. I don't know if it's the same person, but you guys just have the same name. Let's do it again. Bruh. Bruh. Alright. Let's see what we can do. What up, John? How you guys doing, bro? We need some shockwaves. Bruh, come on, pick it up. Oh, what the hell? I did not see that. That's pretty cool. This right here? I did not see that. That's dope, not gonna lie. Alright, we did that. Get a better angle. Bruh. Oh my gosh. There you go. Better. I still like that cool sound effect, bro. Alright. No. Let me load up still. So we're gonna go by endgame, bro. Riding on a car and that's it. Let's see. Bro. Got no more ammo. I got no more ammo, bro. There's some ammo. Bro. Oh, the same. Let's take one off then. Alright. I need to find a car though, bro. How's this plan gonna work without no car? I need to do this, bro. No car. Oh, actually, he has a car here. Brought me one. I forgot. Brought me a Cybertruck. It's all good. Alright. Forgot he brought me a Cybertruck. Alright. Bro. Alright. We can do this. We're gonna try to go M game, bro. Oh, I thought that was purple. Hollow. Bro. Oh, crap. Uh, bro. Uh, uh, I'm gonna finish them off. I'm gonna finish them off, bro. Thought I'll have something for me. Uh, trying to. Most of these cars are already used up, bro. Uh, where are these cars at, bro? Where's the more cars? Over there, maybe? Cars. There's someone there though. Bro, he didn't even fucking kill me. It was just fucking bot, bro, that was doing all the work. Fucking trash. Not even good, bro. It's just this fucking bot doing all the work too. See, it's trash, bro. Uh, trying to do this correctly, bro, but alright, let's do it again. Alright, let's see if we can do this correctly, bro. Give me a second. Alright, we're gonna do it with Scream only, bro. Let's try to get kills with Scream only. Let's see if we could get a victory royale with Scream only, bro. Alright. I only have 190. I'm good. But I like looting up right here, so we good. We good. There's gonna be a lot of people here. Let's see how many if we could survive at least 60 seconds, bro. I thought there were gonna be more people, but we're only doing kills. Bro! Oh my fucking gosh, dude. I'm gonna crash out, honestly, bro. Oh my gosh. And he was so low too. It was so low too, bro. It's my triggering, bro. I don't know. I don't know. It might be my triggering. Who knows? A trigger. Alright. I don't know. Damn, why does Scooby look so happy, bro? Trying to kill somebody. Cause he knows his best friend is Scream, huh? Yeah, let me fix the trigger. I'll keep it at 25. Alright. Alright. Let's try to do this again, bro. Alright. Hopefully we don't fail. Cause damn. I don't know what's up with me, huh? Uh, alright. Alright. Oh, bro. Oh my gosh. I had to freaking reload my guns, dude. He took my kill too. See? Crashing out, bro. I suck. Suck, bro. Oh my god. I suck, bro. I just gotta admit it. But I still love playing this game, bro. I literally suck, bro. Yo, what is up, man? How you doing? I Abel Sanchez. That's how you say your name? Let me see. Oh, they do. Which one's this? This one's Shaggy. This one's Scooby. Scooby loves pizza. Alright. Does he have a pickaxe? They do. Scooby has this. Shaggy has this. The glider. This is from the season pass. This one's from the. Uh, Not today, bro. I only play with my followers every Friday. Alright. Uh, oh, it has like 2 pickaxe. Oh, Shaggy. Shaggy, give me a hug, bro. Alright, let's try it again, bro. We need to get that freaking thing on, bro. Alright. Because we need to kill a few people and see if we can get so the victory royale with Scream. Alright. We could do this. There. Alright. We got this. I think we do. Ooh. Alright. Nothing there. Alright. Alright. Let's do this, bro. Alright. It's all bots though, but it's right here. So we can find the screen, bro. Let's see. Alright, let's see if we can find it. See if we can find it. Is it in here? It is. Found it, bro. It is. Alright. Got it. Got you, bro. The only kill. All the kills we're having, bro. Let's see if we could kill him. Damn, bro, this guy sucks. There you go. Oh crap. Oh crap, dude. Bro, I couldn't even kill one person. That's what I'm saying, bro. Couldn't even kill one person with that, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy stuff. Let's see if we control to do it, bro. Damn. They're we getting us like that. Booty, what's happening? Alright. Okay, we can do this again, bro. At least one kill with that thing, bro. At least one kill. If I can't get one kill, I suck, bro. Hmm. Bruh. I don't need that. What do I want a mech kit for? Alright. Alright. Let's see. Nothing, bro. I need some shield. Alright. Alright. See? And that's how you guys kill him, huh? There you go. Now let's find the screen, bro. I always see it right here, but it's not gonna be here today. Alright now. Let's see. Over here. Is it over here? No. Give me something good, bro. Alright. Oh. Alright, let's see if we can find it here. Give me that. I want some Scooby snacks. See if we can find it. I know there was one right here. I think that. Alright, let's go look for it. Go look for it. Anything in here? Boom. Come on, give me that scream, bro. I need the scream. Where's that? Scream, where are you? I need you. Is that a phone call? I don't think so. It's just my head. Damn, what's up with all these fuzzies right here, bro? I'll take that though. Where's the scream at, bro? I need that. No. Somewhere here. I don't hear it. Oh, crap, crap, crap. My bad, bro. Did not meant to do that. Did not mean to do that. Alright. Let's check it out. Aiden, what is up, man? How you doing? Alright. Damn it. Scream, anyone? Scream? Are you here, Ghostface? Are you here, Ghostface? Anywhere? No. Ghostface? No. Not here? Just Jason? Alright. Bruh. Jason? I mean, Justin. I don't even have shockwaves, bro. Speaking of shockwaves. Stream? Anywhere? Oh, crap, dude. Why are you shooting me? I'm doing anything to you? Looking for Scream right now, bro. Bro, there's oh my gosh, dude. I'm gonna crash out right now, dude. There's no way this motherfucker just got me like that, dude. Oh my gosh. All right, one more game, bro. And then probably do something a little bit more different, bro. Looking into some horror videos. Let's see, it's Halloween month, bro. Might as well. All right, let's see, let's see. Damn it, bro. All right. Bro. All right. Oh, dude. Oh my fucking god, dude. You fucking serious right now? It's trash, dude. It's trash. Oh my gosh, bro. I trash. Ah, bro. 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 Here, let's do something a little bit different, bro. We'll probably do something a little bit different. Eh, let me change the whole thing right now. Hold on. Give me a second. We got this over here real quick. Oh, wrong one. Not this one. This one. Uh, display capture. We'll probably do. Web. This whole thing changed. Give me a second. Uh, uh, what the? What a strawberry man. Uh, uh, alright. A little bit better. Just could see something, but I need to catch. Ah, forgot. Vision this one. Alright. Put some TikToks in here. Actually, we'll probably do it like this, but do it like this. Display, window capture. Select window. Okay. Take this one off. Yes. Sure. Let's see. Uh, maybe later. Uh, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. You guys hear it? Let me see it. No, you guys can't hear it. But do something else. So everyone can hear it, bro. Send audio output so you guys can hear it. Desktop. But just mine's. Alright, let me do something actually. How was that? Wavelength. You guys will be able to hear it from right here. Browser. Let me see. Alright. Uh, oh. I could just change it from right here. Hold on. Uh, oh, it's right here. See? Now you guys can hear it a little bit better. But you guys can hear it. Oh, I had to take it off. But you guys can hear it now. But I wonder if you guys can hear it on YouTube. Let me know in the chat, bro. You know what? Let me go on YouTube. If you guys can hear that. YouTube. My channel. I'm live right now. On YouTube. Let me see if you guys can hear it. Oh yeah, you guys can hear it. You guys can hear it perfectly. Got you guys, man. All right. We're not watching this. Whatever this crap is. Let's go to. All right. Let's watch some horror stuff, bro. It is Halloween, and my favorite holiday. It is Halloween, bro. One of my favorite holidays. 16. Let me look it up. Hold on. I know I forgot what it was called, but let me look it up real quick. There he is. Videos caught on camera. Let's do that. I think I put caught wrong, bro.
It's around 9 p.m. on a Friday night when two sisters are settling in for the evening. During this time, their mom had gone out to walk their dog as she does every night. But while both sisters are alone at home, something happens that leaves them extremely unsettled. Now, the mother in question, known as Isabel Katz, had sent me this video in the hopes that someone could explain her footage. She and her kids live in a house that might be haunted, according to her. Strange things often happen, and she doesn't know what to do. From a sliding cabinet door that is often found open after being closed shut, to mysterious noises heard at night, Isabel is certain that something unexplainable is happening. One night, while Isabel walks the family dog, her two children are alone at home when this is captured.
Oh, the little kid running? I just see that little girl right there. Dude. What pops up? Cause are we gonna see it? Or it's just gonna pop up? Chat.
It was after watching this video that their mother knew something paranormal had occurred. At first, one of her children sees something that terrifies them beyond belief. According to her, she had seen what looked like a tall figure standing inside the master bedroom. It wasn't exactly clear as her daughter states, but she knew something was there, and her sister can attest to this, as she too had seen something tall inside the room. Following that, the sound of their cabinet door sliding open is heard on camera. Understandably, the whole family was freaked out, if not spooked, by this incident. Not much else is known about this clip, but Isabel hopes that someone could explain her footage, as she's not sure what to do or what was caught on camera. It's around 9 p.m. on a following video comes from Edgar V, and in this footage, Edgar is recording a toy mirror that belongs to his daughter. She's been playing with this toy ever since Edgar's neighbor had given.
Scariest video from the dark web part 1. Ghost caught moving on camera.
Yo, that's crazy. I'm over here trying to watch something funny.
Door open by itself. Teddy bear caught.
Happy birthday, dear Bricky. No. Happy birthday to you. Make a wish. Make a wish. Make a wish.
And many more.
Right.
Almost.
Whoa. All right, Jackie.
Alright, what happened? Let me see.
I don't want to know the details. All right, here, honey. The girl's got to have a present. This is from me. Yeah.
Surprised my daughter with a toy bear just like her dad who passed away last year.
Yeah. Jackie, presents pass.
Kinda sad, not gonna lie.
Shut up. No way. That is not worked. That is not worked.
Not gonna lie, creepy.
Happy birthday.
Videos, let's just go by videos, bro.
Scary recordings found on dark web.
What the hell, dude?
Scary recordings found on
Yo,
dark web.
On September
that's freaking crazy, bro. Look at that. A man
Scary
forced to
recordings
eat.
found on dark web.
Imagine, bro. Nah, that's crazy. That's creepy, bro. That gives me
On
the
September 8th
chills.
of 2025, a strange video was posted by a woman whose mother runs
Things human were never meant to see.
Alright, scariest things ever caught on camera. What the hell?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Is that clicking? Nah, bro. That's why I don't fuck with. Nah, that's why I don't fuck with toys, dolls like that, bro. Hell no, bro. That shit's scary as hell, bro. Look at that.
Escucha, hágale, pero hágale suavecito. Espere, espere. Hágale.
Oh shit, bro.
Ooh. Hey, hon. Come here.
Now, what will you guys do, bro? In this scenario right here, if your chair just starts moving out of nowhere,
I
hell
don't
no.
think it's just down here. Look at that. This is the most active during the day that I've. Oh, there goes the Xbox too. Wait a minute. Oh, I'm not liking this. Oh wow. Wait. I swear I can see.
Oh
Please
shit.
stop it. I'm not liking this. Hun, let's go to dinner or something for a while. Time.
Yo, did you guys ever think this is real or fake, bro? I used to work overnights as a security guard, bro. Scary shit ever. Actually, I actually have a story when I used to work at a school in uh it's as a custodian. I was by myself, no one. People, people exaggerate when they're when they're what's it called? When they're just making them stories. But this time, bro, I'm not exaggerating. Alright. There was a time I was cleaning, I was already done, doing all my work. I was just checking everything off, making sure everything's locked and stuff like that. I was downstairs and there's an upstairs, right? There's an upstairs classroom. It was at elementary school. And I heard footsteps running. Bro, footsteps running. And I looked up. I went up there, bro. There was nothing. Then I came back down. Heard them again. This was me, bro. This was me. Hold on. What's it?
Oh hell no!
No, that wasn't me. Hold on. Damn it, where is it at? Did I get it? Oh, this was me right here, bro.
Run.
I just booked it, bro. I booked it. I was like, oh hell no, bro. I booked it. I thought I had that, but yeah, I booked it. I was like, not today. Not today. Yo, what up, Goldie? How you doing, bro?
Buenas noches. Ya se cerró la plaza, joven. Buenas noches.
But, yeah. I would have turned
Buenas
on
noches,
the
ya se
light.
cerró.
I would have turned on all the lights on,
¿Hay
bro.
algún niño aquí? Buenas noches.
Nah, that's crazy.
Sorry, what'd you just say?
I heard you had these beautiful black German shepherds here, so I came down to say hi.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're fucked.
Then this happens. What? What happened?
What?
What?
What are you doing? You don't hear that? No. Hey, can you help me? Yeah, sure.
Let me see.
You're fucked. What? What? What?
Nah, that was nothing. She's just drunk, bro. That's all it is. She's just drunk.
Girl, that is not me. Do not go in there. What?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, let's.
Can you help me? Yeah, sure.
Girl, that is not me. Do not go in there. What?
Nah, I think that's fake.
ボタンでしょ。中地獄だって配ってんだ。しかも男の人に。わかる。
Nika? Nika?
The hell? She looks like a loading screen, bro. Just like right now. Loading screen.
どうしたどうしたどうしたどうしたびっくりしてみた。
Crazy. Let's see.
This, but we buried this guy like a day ago. Hey, but guess what? He's back.
Yeah, bro, cause
I know, buddy. I see you.
we'll
I'm
be
surprised you're
feeding
still
him.
up and walking around.
Look at this place. Hey, man. What's up? It's like, oh, yeah. What the? Can you see that? Almost.
Yo, bro.
Happy birthday.
What you doing? What you see? What? What you see? Who you saying hi to? Who are you saying hi to? Dude, you need to stop that. You're freaking me out. Come on. SpongeBob night.
SpongeBob off.
Others.
Liam, come here. Liam, right now. What is happening? Okay, I'm calling your mom. Just stay right here.
I could be a pirate again.
You do?
Yeah.
When were you a pirate?
I was a long time ago when you weren't alive, and then I shrunk into a little kid.
Some of the stuff I think some of it is fake. Now that, bro, imagine just seeing those two, one downstairs and one just coming right next to you, bro. You're cooked. You're cooked, bro. You know? You got nothing else to do. You're just cooked. That's it. You're dying. You're dying. Just imagine seeing that. What happened to the dog? Probably died, huh? Oh shit. What the hell? I think that's AI. Like, whose dog is that? That ain't no dog. That's cousin right there. Hey, cousin. That's how I'll be looking at, bro. If I see a dog like that looking at me like that, that's the scene that will pop up.
Scariest videos caught on camera.
Oh shit. Bro, how you gonna run like that? Look at that. Look at that. Let's rewind it. Let's rewind it. Alright, look. Look. If that's acting, bro, she's not getting hired. I'll tell you that right now. Alright, look at that. Just looking at that. She looked like she was lagging a little bit, you know? When your internet connection is not working like that. It's me.
Liam, come here. Liam, right now. What is it? Okay, I'm calling your mom. Just stay right here.
Shit, bro.
Scariest videos caught on.
Now this next video comes from Jalen Love, who although has no idea what was captured, is extremely unsettled by this footage. She claims that no one else had been in the house except her two sisters, who are seen on camera. They had just come back from somewhere at around 10 p.m. when the security camera inside their living room recorded the following. Now it's worth noting that this isn't the first time something scary had occurred. Only a few weeks prior to this incident, someone broke into their house. It's for this reason.
Hello? Hello. I'm sorry to bother you, but there is a creepy guy who's been following me for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Can I stay at your place until he's gone?
Yeah, come
Thank
in.
you.
Are you okay?
I know you're a fucking mimic. I've seen you all over TikTok and stuff like that. If you want to mimic my voice, that's fine. But if you're gonna live under here, you at least have to pay rent. You got it? No, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Hey. Hey.
Imagine.
Hey. Come here.
What up, Halloween 13?
I swear there's someone outside my room.
You gotta get out. You're gonna lock yourself in the laundry.
In the following video, a woman named Aria is recording herself walking down a hallway inside a hotel, but something about her video seems off.
Okay.
I know you're a fucking.
Let me look at some stuff, bro. Hold on. Let me see if we could look some. Reddit. Horror. Stories. Let's see if they even got some, you know? Don't even have anything. I don't got anything right now. We'll go back on YouTube. Let's say YouTube. This is an
One
hour
day,
long.
me and my family went to a river which was not too far away from our house. When we arrived there, I immediately felt something was strange. So I got out of the car, and there was a very bad smell coming from the bushes. I didn't think much of it at first.
Training for
Hey,
Use the voice mod controller app to select your voice changer or soundboard sound, and like
This
that,
what?
the sound will transfer from your phone through your
Let's
headset
watch some
and into your
stuff like this, bro. Let's see.
I was on my way to deliver an order from the sandwich shop I worked for. It was a quiet night, around 11 or so. I had my music playing in my car, and I was just running through the motions of the delivery. On my way to their neighborhood, I pulled up to a red light. There was nobody else at the intersection, but for some reason, the light stayed red for what felt like an abnormal amount of time. As I sat there and stared at the light, waiting for it to change, a car pulled up beside me. I only glanced over for a second, not wanting to make that awkward eye contact, but their windows were heavily tinted, like definitely more than what was legal, as I couldn't see a single thing through them. The car itself was black as well, maybe an old Toyota or something. I can't really pinpoint what it was, but I got a really uneasy feeling about them. It could have just been that we were the only two on the road. I'm really not sure. Eventually the light turned green, and I started going. I didn't get very far though, before noticing they hadn't moved. They were still parked at the intersection. Once I got further down the road, I shrugged it off, and just thought it was weird, and nothing else. A couple minutes later, I pulled off into the section of housing that the delivery was in. I'd say neighborhood, but it wasn't really a neighborhood. It was just a line of 10 or so houses, leading to a dead end. Something about it seemed really off-putting. Of all the houses on the street, not a single one had a light on. I 100% would have thought these places were abandoned, if not for the fact that the houses themselves looked really nice. They looked like ordinary neighborhood homes, with not a single sign of anything wrong with them. I figured it had to just be a coincidence that every resident down the street had their lights off. Anyway, the address I had was for the second to last house. I pulled up and parked on the curb, getting out with the order and walking up to the door. I was hoping I'd at least see some sort of light coming through the windows of this house, because it was the one I was delivering to, but standing on the porch, I didn't see any light. Reluctantly, I knocked on the door. When I did, the door swung a bit from its hinges, like it wasn't properly shut or locked. Now this was even more odd. Sandwich delivery. Anyone home? It was completely silent. No response, and not even the slightest sound from inside the house. I was gonna leave, but just to be sure I didn't miss anything, I cracked the door open a little further. I could see a hallway and a room. Both were empty of any furniture or decorations, not even a single picture on the wall. It only took a few seconds before dust started coming through the doorway too. I shut it and backed up from the porch. I was very confused and slightly worried. As I walked back down to my car though, I noticed something down the road. A few houses back, there was a small black car that wasn't there when I pulled in. Its headlights were off, and it was parked. Once I saw the tinted windows, I immediately recognized it. I felt my face go white, knowing this could not possibly be a coincidence at this point. I started to hurry to my car, but as I got just a few feet away from the road, I saw something move in the reflection of one of the windows. I wasn't sure what it was that I saw, but I stopped in place. I was standing near the passenger door, and through the window, my eyes fell on the back seat. It was dark, but there was something blocking the back
Bro,
window.
Eli, do I remember
It only
you?
took me about a second for me to realize what I saw. I turned
I don't
and
know.
bolted back to the
I gotta,
house.
cause I know a lot of
As I
people
did,
change their username, so I
my
don't remember that
car
username, bro.
and a man in a black
My bad.
hoodie and black pants came running out. He didn't chase me though. He ran straight down to the road and into his car. I stayed on the porch, and with my heart pounding, I dialed 911. I probably could have gotten in my
Elijah.
car and left at that point, but I was too scared to really think straight.
Nah, I don't think I remember you, bro. My bad.
And immediately told me that this whole street was unoccupied, as the homes were new builds. Guess that explains why I thought they looked so nice and not abandoned. What I definitely didn't expect was to hear them say that they've had multiple reports this past week, very similar to mine. The guy would order something for delivery with a fake name and address, then follow the driver. What happened to me was the closest call of any of them, though. The guy had snuck inside my car and was waiting for me to get in and maybe even drive away. Who knows what he was trying to do. Unfortunately, there haven't been any updates on finding him.
That one time. What one time?
I was 20 and worked with my parents at a really small takeout restaurant. We specialized in to-go orders. I was in college at the time and was on a very hectic schedule, but my parents were kind enough to offer me a laid-back position just as a general worker, usually just working the to-go table or cleaning up the place after closing hours. This was during early December, and with finals coming up, I didn't have much time to work during the day, so I was taking up mostly late night shifts where I'd just clean for a few hours, then head home. One of the nights I was working, I noticed around an hour into my shift that a car was parked in the parking lot. The way our restaurant was laid out, it was a standalone shop with a tiny parking lot in front of it, so there was no crossover between other stores or businesses. I thought whoever parked there probably just didn't think anyone would care. And they were right, because I really didn't.
I don't remember that, bro.
20 or so minutes later, they left.
I don't remember. My bad, bro.
However, the next night, around the same time, the car pulled into the parking lot again. The first time it was fine, because I thought it was just a one-time thing, but coming back again was strange.
Dang it. My bad, though,
I
bro.
walked up to the front of the building and looked out.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. I heard you're a free user trying to learn about the Voice Lab. Well, VoiceMod just completely revamped it. So meet
It was
Voice
an
Lab
older-
2, a much easier,
The
more
hell?
intuitive way of creating the voices you want.
Hey, can I get in? Thank you. So nice of you to help a lady like me.
Hold on.
My ultimate is not ready.
I am so scared right now.
Here's how it works. I explain it like this. Who is speaking?
Is it a barbarian?
I'm not a big girl.
Through which device are we hearing it from?
A World War II megaphone? A walkie-talkie? Or a smartphone?
Which mic are they speaking into?
A cheap mic? Or a podcaster mic? Or a streamer
Hold
mic?
on, give me a second.
What's the pitch?
Is it super high? Or just low?
What can we hear in the background?
Maybe some stage music. Classic. Or the ocean.
Where is the person speaking located?
Are we hearing them through the wall?
Are they in a bathroom? Are they in a cave? Are they in a dungeon?
Now you can adjust everything to make it sound perfect. And you can also readjust your effects.
Adjust it even more with popular audio effects like delay.
And you're ready to sing.
Of course, you get to be selective with the categories. Now let's say I just want my mic to sound better and my voice a little bit deeper. I can just go on mics, select deep and clear. You hear that bass? And then under power pitch, I would select low.
If it's too low, I can adjust it right there.
And I'm done. Easy peasy. Now just name it, find a thumbnail, and if I'm really proud of my creation, I can actually share it with the whole community by clicking save and share. All I have to do is fill out the form, Click share with the community. You can also copy the link directly here. Now, every voice mod user can find it alongside the thousands of community voices. Magical sparkles. So now, when I'm done making a voice I like, I can just hit up my friend on Discord and drop a link to it. I cannot tell you how awesome it feels to share the voices I create. So what are you waiting for? Get Voice Mod Pro now and get access to all the other amazing features. Unlimited content slots and soundboards. All of the awesome community content. The 200 plus classic voice mod voices. And of course, the ability to create, edit, and share voices with the new and improved Voice Lab. So start today on voicemod.net.
Huh. Did not know what that was from, bro. Yeah, I did play Fortnite. I do play Fortnite, bro. Do you have that? So voice, I do, but I don't know how to work it. So be right back. All right, bro. You miss me? Yeah, bro. I've been a while.
The car pulled into the
Been a
parking
while.
lot again. The first time it was fine because I thought it was just a one-time thing, but coming back again was strange. I walked up to the front of the building and looked out. It was an older gray sedan with dark windows. They didn't seem to be trying to hide or anything because they were facing right at the building and they kept their headlights on. I double-checked that the doors were locked before getting back to cleaning. It was hard not to feel like they were watching me through the giant glass front windows, but just like last time, they left not too long after. I finished up my work and clocked out an hour later. Walking to my car in the parking lot, I felt really uneasy. I knew they had left, but it was just concerning that the same car came by 2 nights in a row for seemingly no reason. I drove home and got some rest. Having a lot of schoolwork to do, I decided to take off the next night, so I didn't return to work until the following night. The whole time I was inside cleaning, I had this anxious feeling that made me constantly look out the windows, expecting that car to come back at any point, but I never saw them pull in. I was inside for nearly 3 hours and finished everything I had to do, and not having seen the car come by this night, I felt like maybe it really was all nothing. I packed my stuff up and headed out, locking the door behind me. As I walked through the parking lot, that anxious and uneasy feeling rushed back to me. It felt like I suddenly got a burst of adrenaline, making me sweat.
I do not know, bro. I know which everyone
Then,
at.
as I was halfway across and standing out in the open, my eyes
I don't know. The algorithm has
sitting in the
been
far back of the parking lot.
not my friend
Away from
lately.
all the street lamps that lit up the area. Within seconds, it started moving, quickly driving toward me. I sprinted to my car, but I could hear
You
the
do, bro?
tires
I
skidding on the
appreciate you, man.
pavement as they sped up right beside me and slammed on the brakes. I stumbled forward, thinking they were about to hit me. I was only a few feet away from my car at this point, and suddenly the doors of their car swung open. I didn't even turn my head to look, having my focus completely on getting into my car. Footsteps rushed behind me just as I opened my car and got in. Through the windows, I saw 3 men wearing masks and hoodies sprinting up to me. My hands were shaking as I tried to get my car to turn on. The men started banging on the windows and trying to get the doors open, but I barely got it in drive and drove past them. I got out of the parking lot and onto the road, and from
Oh,
there,
Jonathan Cruz, thanks for following, man. I appreciate you.
I called 911 and pulled into a well-lit gas station nearby to wait for them. Unfortunately, the outside of our shop didn't have any cameras, so the information the police had to go off of was minimal. I couldn't even see any of the men's faces. After that night, it's no surprise that I never saw the car or the men again.
Yeah. Imagine they probably took him, huh?
You get advanced AI capabilities. For more customization, more.
This was last year toward the beginning of December.
I see.
One of my good friends was going on a trip with his family and would be gone for a whole week.
I don't even know.
He asked if I wanted to house sit his place while they were gone. We were really good family friends, so this wasn't all that
I don't even know how
I actually
they
did
think
the
they
same
look,
thing
huh?
for them last year as well. They had a
See.
couple fish tanks and a lot of houseplants that they needed me to take care of while they were away, and in return I'd get to stay at their house for a week. I lived in a really small apartment, so I was always glad to take them up on the offer and help out. I headed over a couple hours before they left, just to hang out and get a refresher on everything that I needed to do. Once they left, I unpacked some things and got settled in, and around 6, I went out to pick up some dinner. I brought it back to the house and ate in the living room while watching TV. Only a half hour later, there was a knock at the door. I paused the show and got up, looking to see who it was. It was a man in his 30s. He wasn't wearing a delivery uniform or anything. He just looked like a regular dude. I cracked the door open and asked what he needed. He looked startled to see me, but quickly recovered and asked if my friend was home right now. He called him by his name, so I thought he might have been a friend or something, but I told him he'd have to come back some other time. He didn't ask anything else and just walked away. I probably should have asked what he needed, but I felt like he should have told me to begin with. I was sure it was nothing, but I texted my friend just to let him know who came by. He called me soon after and asked who he was, and after a brief conversation, he said he had no idea who that guy could have been. I kept an eye out for the rest of the day, but still felt like it was probably nothing serious. I watched TV for a while, then went around the house watering the plants and feeding the fish.
Please what?
Around 9, I started getting the couch set up for bed. I tossed a few blankets down and made a little sleeping area. As I did, there was another knock at the door. I walked over, more confused than anything, but was immediately unnerved
What
to see the
text?
same guy outside the door. This time, I didn't open it. "Hey, what do you need? Can you come back a different day?" I yelled through the door. I watched as the man listened and stared at the door like he was thinking, but instead of responding, he just walked away again. I made sure the door was locked before going back to the couch. It was then that I definitely should have called the police, but for some reason I really didn't want to. Especially being at someone
Alright, man.
else's house.
Thanks for joining
I was
the
worried that this
the
was all
stream,
just
bro.
a
I appreciate you, my guy.
Not to mention,
Let's
the
see.
guy hadn't actually done anything yet. I would just have to explain that he came by twice and stood at the door. It kind of sounds silly, honestly. It definitely woke me up, though, and I didn't feel comfortable going to bed right away. I
Bye.
stayed up on my
Alright,
phone
Eli.
and had the window curtains
Elijah.
open so I could see if he walked up again.
Thanks for joining the stream, bro.
I
Appreciate
probably
you.
waited for a good 2 hours before my eyes started getting heavy. I did one last check out the windows before closing the curtains and getting ready for bed. I brushed my teeth, then hopped in the shower to quickly rinse off. By the time I got out, dried off, and went back downstairs, it had been less than 10 minutes. I went around and turned off all the lights, and before getting in bed, I figured I'd do one last check out the windows, just to help me sleep easy. I looked out, seeing nothing but trees swaying in the wind and the empty road in front of the house. I stepped back, and as I went back over to the couch, my eyes drifted toward the front door, catching something off. The lock was sideways. I walked over, thinking I was seeing things wrong, but no, it was unlocked. I was completely certain I'd locked it, not even a doubt in my mind. I froze up for a second before I felt adrenaline surge through me. I turned around and crept over to the couch to grab my phone that I left on the end table, but it wasn't there. Someone had already taken it. I didn't stay a second longer, grabbing my keys and running out the front door. I used the emergency button in my car to call 911 as I pulled out of the driveway and parked further down the road to wait. When police pulled up and searched the home, they found the man, same one that came by twice, sitting in one of the spare bedrooms.
Damn, imagine, bro.
When they arrested him, he didn't say a word, like he was completely mute. They found a forged key in his pocket that matched the front door, and nobody knows how he got it. My friend told me again that he had no clue who the man was or why he'd break into his home, but it honestly felt like there was something he wasn't telling me.
Or just imagine someone just being in your room the whole time, just you chilling, and then someone just knocks at the door, banging. That'd be crazy. That's how I always carry, bro. Always carry.
Suspiciously, we haven't talked much after that either. I don't know what was going to happen that night. If I didn't notice the door was unlocked and went to bed, I really don't think I would have woken up.
Monday's CRM is so intuitive, I think it just read my mind. Again. Get out of my head.
All these ads, bro. Damn, but imagine you just chilling at home, bro. Someone keeps knocking at the door. Who is it? We don't know. We don't know. Then sneaks in your house trying to kill you, bro. Nah, that's why I always carry. Hey, Second Amendment, bro. Second Amendment. Yeah, nah.
It was a normal night after work, getting home at
Because you never know, bro. You never know. People are crazy sometimes. You always got to protect yourself and your family, bro.
10. I was exhausted, but ready to stay up late and game. All my buddies worked early tomorrow, so I was just playing solo and relaxing. A few hours into the night, I heard what sounded like a knock. I took my headphones off and listened for it again, but it was quiet now. I thought surely it had to be a knock at the front door, as it was pretty loud and I didn't know what else it could be. I went over to check it out, but nobody was on the porch. The more I thought about it, a single knock would have been odd if there were someone at the door. I still didn't know what it was that I heard, but I went back to gaming. It must have only been a half hour later that I heard another sound. It was a sort of click, like something closing. I immediately took my headset off and looked behind me. Again, the house was quiet now. I got up and did a walkthrough of the house. I didn't thoroughly check every inch of the place. I was just trying to spot any obvious signs of what I'd been hearing. The house was fairly old, so usually I chalk these things up to being the aging wood. After checking around and not seeing anything, that's exactly what I did, and I went back to my desk. I was still a little hesitant to put my headset back on, but eventually I did anyway. Only a couple minutes later though, a reflection suddenly moved across my computer screen. Maybe it was a shadow, I don't know, but I jumped up.
Yo, imagine just seeing that, bro. You're on your computer and you just see somebody walking by. No. Oh, that's crazy, bro. I don't know. I'll dip right then and there, bro.
And spun around. This time, it was almost like I knew, without a doubt, that someone was inside my home and had just walked somewhere behind me. My desk was in the living room, so there was a long hallway behind it with 3 separate rooms, and at the end was the front door. I took a few seconds to recollect myself and think about which way the reflection moved across
Fortnite,
my
bro.
screen, and realized it had moved from the left side of the hallway to the right side. There was only one door on the right, which was to my bedroom. It felt like in that moment, the silence of the whole house was deafening, making each second pass feel more and more terrifying, knowing almost for sure that someone else was in that room. I decided my best bet was to just run for the front door and hope whoever was in the room didn't jump out at me. After a few seconds, I forced myself to move, running down the hall and through the front door. I heard nothing as I fled the house. I called the cops and waited outside for several long minutes. They went in, and I still couldn't believe it when they pulled a man out the front door. I knew someone had broken in, but actually seeing it was really
Damn.
unsettling. He looked around 55, but
Yo, imagine, bro. Again, another story that someone just creeping in your house, broke in, and you're playing video games, bro. Second Amendment, bro. Second Amendment. Good for you.
was very large. His face was uncanny, with wide, bloodshot eyes and a disheveled beard. Even worse, they found 2 knives on him.
Damn,
It
imagine
seems
2
he had
knives
no
trying to
particular
kill you, bro.
reason for choosing me as a victim of whatever he was trying to do.
Hey, the one that always gets me is that scene. I don't know if you guys seen it. The scene of strangers, when the famous line, bro. Why are you doing this? Just because you were home. Damn, that's crazy. I love that movie, bro. I love that movie, and I love that line. Just because you were home, bro. That's crazy. Imagine just because you were home, they decided to kill you. Second Amendment, bro. Second Amendment.
Which I guess was supposed to make me feel better, but honestly, it didn't. It just means he was completely insane and would have done anything without hesitation had he had the chance to. I think I just got really lucky that night to even be standing here today.
Yeah. Whoever did this animation is pretty dope. His name is MJV Animations,
used to
bro.
work for a small
Animations,
startup company.
dope.
I'm not even really sure what they did because I was just a security person. But I always thought it was a little strange that they even felt they needed a
Yo,
security.
being a security guard is the best. It's not the best, but the easiest job you could do. Alright, just letting you guys know.
The office was really small and looked somewhat unimportant, like any other office. It made my job easy though, because I didn't have to parade around multiple floors all night. I got in at 9 and turned on the security alarm systems, then headed to the little security room that had all the camera screens set up. The place only had outdoor cameras, which were really low quality. The first couple hours went by slowly, with the usual nothing going on. Sometime around 1 a.m. though, I heard what sounded like a latch clicking shut. I sat there confused for a moment, then stood up and opened the door to the hallway. Everything looked exactly how I'd left it. There were only 3 doors down the hallway, and each one was closed. I walked over to each door, opening them and briefly looking around. The rooms were layered with a bunch of office desks, but from what I could see, it was all normal. By now, it had been long enough for me to start wondering if the sound I heard was actually what I thought it was. Maybe I just didn't hear it right. After all, the security systems should have triggered an alarm if someone had opened one of the main doors to get inside. So I went back to the room, this time leaving the door open to the hallway, so if I heard it again, it'd be more clear. Then I sat back and continued monitoring the cameras. I checked the footage from the previous few minutes, just to
Give me a
see if I
second,
missed
guys.
it.
Give me a second. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back.
Anything, but I didn't see anything at all. No movement outside the building. Another 20 minutes passed. I think by then, I'd pretty much came to terms that whatever I heard was nothing, as I was back to not paying as much attention.
Are you building a new internet site or revamping an old, poorly designed internet? SharePoint is a single add-on that you can integrate.
Then a sound echoed down the hallway. It was faint. A door opening slowly. I jumped up from my chair and walked into the hallway, not believing what I heard. I immediately saw one of the doors was cracked open. Knowing that none of the alarms went off and nothing had showed up on the cameras, I was extremely confused. I was sure that nobody could be in here. I crept over and opened the door a little further, revealing the dark office room. I took a few steps inside, but didn't hear or see anything, so I started to walk further in, going past each office desk. Then, as I got to the back of the room, I saw the slightest movement on one of the walls, like a shadow or something, before I turned my head and instantly locked eyes with a person crouched underneath one of the desks, hair in large dark circles under his eyes. He had a look of both fear and anger, like he was both mad and worried that I'd found him. The instant we saw each other, though, he started getting up. I had no idea if he had any kind of weapons on him, so I took no chances and started running for my life. I went into the hallway and out the front doors, which triggered the security alarms and automatically notified the police. I went a safe distance away, then tried to watch the front doors as I waited for the officers to show up. It only took about 30 seconds before the door swung open and the man came running out. He ran around to the other side of the building, and from there I lost sight of him. When officers got there, we downloaded the footage from the whole night, but nowhere in it did we see the man enter the building. So we don't know when.
Alright, give me a second, guys. Hold on. Bro, this whole time, you guys can't even see me on the freaking Twitch chat? Bruh. Oh, that's the audio. Bruh. Can you guys see me on the... the hell? Hmm. I can see myself perfectly. Oh, that's weird. Take this one off. I don't really need it. Yeah, I'm sure. I keep saying that's why. Dummy. They're better. Better. That's better. That's better.
How they got in. Obviously, the other question is why they broke in. After discussing it with the company, they said they knew nothing about it and didn't find anything missing. I have a hunch that they might have known more than they let on, though. Hiring security for their tiny office isn't normal unless you have a reason to. I think it might have actually been an old employee that they knew was a little unhinged. Anyway, I stayed there for another few months, then called it quits for a better job. I never found out anything else about what happened that night.
And that's crazy. Imagine just working.
Got 99 things to do and
Funny.
SEO too? Use SEMrush's SEO toolkit with AI to boost rankings, automate work.
I get you. AI, whatever. But yeah, bro, it's crazy. Sometimes you could just be chilling at work, just happening, and someone decides to shoot up the place, which is crazy. Honestly, I don't even think we have a gun problem, bro, or anything like that. I think we have a mental illness problem, bro. Mentally ill people just.
I was pretty young when this happened. I think 16
crazy
or
sometimes.
17. It was at my first job, which was just some trashy pizza place. They paid slightly more than other places, and I made extra from tips when I did deliveries, so I stayed there for a while. I don't remember too much about the beginning of my shift this night. I probably started at my regular time, around 6, and was scheduled until 12, but the whole first half of my shift went by like any other day. It was sometime around 10 that we got an order for delivery, so I packed it up and left to drop it off. The place was 15 minutes away, in a small neighborhood. It took me a minute to find the house though, because all the trees were blocking the address numbers, and a lot of the homes had long driveways leading far from the road. Eventually I did find it, after circling back a few times. I drove down the driveway and parked closer to the home. It was one of those large houses that looked like it was built forever ago. I got the food and walked up to the front porch. It was hard not to notice how quiet it was in this neighborhood. It felt like I was so far away from everything, especially with the trees everywhere. When I got up to the porch though, the front door was wide open. I'd seen a lot of people leave their doors cracked open before, but the way this one was fully open was a little bit excessive. Anyway, I walked over and knelt down to set the food inside the house, when a voice called out, "Hey, would you mind bringing the pizza in here? I'm just setting up the table." It was a man's voice, but they sounded friendly. I knew it was frowned on to enter someone's home while delivering, but honestly, it was a fairly normal request and usually didn't take more than a few extra seconds and typically secured a good tip. I stepped inside and walked down the hallway into the kitchen. I set the box on the table, but nobody else was in there. I'd just heard his voice only moments ago, and I never heard him walk anywhere else. I also noticed the house was extremely quiet, like no other sounds at all. I felt a shiver.
I mean, will you guys ever do that? I used to be a delivery driver. Bro, I had a lot of jobs. But I used to be a delivery driver, and this was actually more common than you think. But I did it. But now seeing this, I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't do it again, bro. I'm like, I was thinking in my back of my head, I'm like, what if this guy kills me? You know, I'm just putting down his food. All of a sudden, gunshot to the head. I don't know.
Shiver run through me, and as I decided to leave, his voice called out again. Can you bring it in here, please? His voice came from the other hallway, connecting to the kitchen. There was a single door that was open, but whatever was behind it was dark. There was no light on. It also sounded like his voice came from right behind the doorway, like he was standing just out of sight. After a few seconds, I turned around and fast walked back out the front door. I got in my car and drove back to work, and I never said a word about it. I thought I'd either get made fun of for being scared or for being stupid, so I just kept it to myself. Thinking back on it now, though, there was definitely something up with that guy. Nothing about that encounter was normal. I'm just glad that at least I was smart enough to leave when I did, because there's really no saying what would have happened if I went into that room with him.
Yep, you would have got diddied.
This was 3 years ago, just at the
That's what you would have. You would have got diddy, bro. That's all I'm saying. Diddy, bro. Diddied.
December. Where I live, it doesn't get too cold until late December, and we usually don't get any snow until early January. I go camping pretty often, and typically try to take as many trips as I could before winter comes in, and then I wouldn't be able to go out for several months. I scheduled some time off work for the first weekend of December, so I could do one last camping trip. I chose a place an hour north from me. I knew it was a little colder up north.
Damn, this guy looks like he's had massive eye bags, bro.
Matter too much. Besides, I was prepared with camping gear that was also rated for cold temperatures. I headed down there in the morning, arriving at the trailhead just a couple hours past sunrise. There were 2 other cars at the trailhead, one regular-looking minivan and one truck that looked like it'd been off-roading, with mud and scratches all over it. I parked and began down the trail. It was definitely chilly out, so I put my jacket and hat on. Not too long into it, I passed an older man with his kid who looked like they'd camped the night before, so that accounted for one of the cars. When I got to the campsite, I figured there would only be one other group or person there, but it was empty. Just a flat grassy spot near a flowing pond. No other tents or people. I sat my tent up on the edge near the trees.
Colton, what is up, man?
I spent some time writing in my journal, but as the day went on, it got colder and colder. I got up and built a campfire to help keep me warm. It wasn't too long after that, someone else came walking down the trail. It was a man, maybe 40, and he wore a thick coat and a cloth covering his face. He had a small backpack, but when he passed me and went to the other side of the campsite, I noticed his bag was flat, like there was almost nothing in it. He sat down and leaned up against a tree. I thought he probably had a friend further down the trail that was on their way or something. But a while passed, I don't know, probably 45 minutes, and nobody else came. Also, the man didn't move. He was still just sitting against the tree and staring out at the pond. I didn't know whether to feel bad for him, or be creeped out, or what. But then, kind of out of nowhere, he got up and started walking over to me. Once he got to the other side of the campfire, he stopped and sat down, smiling at me over the flame. Hope you don't mind if I share your campfire. It's much colder than I expected. I said it was okay, trying to be friendly, but also feeling a bit uncomfortable. There was something off about his smile. The rest of his face just didn't match.
He does look creepy,
His
not gonna lie.
eyes were droopy and tired, which made his smile seem fake. Did you bring a tent? It's probably gonna get colder tonight. He shook his head no, but didn't seem worried or concerned at all, still having that smile. After that, there was a good 10 minutes where we both just sat there in silence. During that time, I'd already made up my mind that I wanted to leave, but I was nervous about packing my things up right in front of him. But the sun was nearly set, so if I was going to leave, I'd have to soon. I stood up and went toward my tent, getting my sleeping bag from inside and rolling it up. I could feel the man's eyes staring at me the whole time, and when I turned around, he was looking right at me with that same creepy smile. He stood up, holding his gaze on me, then walked back to the tree he was by earlier. However, he didn't stop. He continued walking past it and into the woods, disappearing from my sight not too far in.
Guy looking creepy,
I
bro.
stood still for a minute, listening for his footsteps,
Guy looking creepy.
but the forest was quiet. I didn't know what the hell was going on, but I was sure he'd be coming back any minute. I hurried to get the rest of my things packed, and within 2 minutes, I was heading back down the trail. I left the campfire going, so that if he was watching me from a distance, maybe he'd think I hadn't left yet. The next 2 hours were extremely unnerving, walking in the dark and freezing cold, just hoping I wouldn't hear his footsteps rushing behind me. I made it to my car safely though, getting in and driving home. I noticed at the trailhead, the old truck was gone though, so if it wasn't his, I don't know how that man got there. Regardless, if I'd stayed that night, something definitely would have happened. The man was
100%.
probably going out into the woods to get something, only to come back soon after and do whatever he was there to do. Or he could have been waiting out there, pretending to have left in hopes that I'd feel safe enough to stay the night, just to come back in my sleep. The imminent events of that night will probably haunt my thoughts for the rest of my life.
Imagine bringing your side project to life just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform. Describe what you want and watch it take shape.
All these ads, bro. I should get the freaking
This was in
thing.
2016. I used to live
An
in a
ad,
remote
bro.
town with a
I'm
pretty
brokey.
close community. The whole landscape around the area was flat, dense forest, so basically the only thing to do was go for hikes or go camping. Otherwise, you'd have to drive an hour over to the next, slightly larger town. Me and my friend Matt would go camping a lot, and this time he said one of his other friends recommended a place that we could go, so that's where we went. It was only a 15-minute drive from the outskirts of our town. There was no parking though, we just pulled over on the side of the road. The trail was also very faint and thin, and not something that looked used very often. We walked down, and after an hour, we made it to the camp. Supposedly, there was a nice view of a lake, but his friend must have been messing with us, because it definitely was not a lake, or a nice view. It was more of a swamp, like a dark green overgrown pond. It looked like it could have been nice a couple years ago, maybe. After laughing it off though, Matt pointed out a tent on the other side of the water. It was way too far to see anything specific, but it was just a lone tent sitting among the trees. Then my eyes drifted along the edge of the water, further down from the tent. There was a person watching us. They were standing along the pond, directly across from where we were. I did a quick friendly wave, trying to not make it awkward. We both assumed they were the ones staying in the tent. Anyway, we pitched our tents on a hill, away from the water, and carried on with our
Imagine.
day. We played a couple games and had some long talks. During the whole day, we occasionally looked out at the water, and we both found it a little strange that we never saw the person near their tent. They were either not there at all, or just walking around in the trees further away. As the day slowly turned to night, there were a few hours where we never saw them. We walked around and collected some scraps to make a fire with, then propped up our chairs close to the flame and made dinner. We were just chatting and having some laughs when Matt suddenly jumped up from his chair. His eyes were locked on something right behind me. I stood up and looked. Standing in the dark, there was the outline of someone standing only 20 feet away. They had long and disheveled black hair and were wearing dark clothing. The shadows covered them too much to tell if it was a man or woman, or if they were holding anything. "Hello?" Matt called out. "Are you okay?" I followed up with. They stayed there for a moment, then hurried away.
I was trying to do something.
I looked back at Matt, and although both of us were freaked out, we both nervously smiled, like what the hell was that about? Honestly, this was so long ago, I don't even remember what excuse or theory we came up with for why they were there. We assumed it was the person we saw across the water, but that's all I remember. Whatever we came up with.
That guy looks like a Orochimaru, bro. If you guys know freaking Naruto, that's how that guy looks like, bro.
It was enough for us to continue the night
Trippy.
without being too spooked. Somehow we even went to bed, which, looking back on it, I have no idea how. We were just young and overconfident, I guess. But in the middle of the night, I woke up to Matt quickly unzipping my tent and shaking me awake. He was breathing heavily and had a look of fear in his eyes. As I got out, he said he woke up hearing someone outside, and when he opened his tent, he saw that same person standing right by my tent. When they saw him, they ran. He was really freaking out, and I felt like I had to keep a level head as best I could. Our only options were to test our luck walking down the narrow path in the dark, or staying at the camp. We decided to rebuild the fire and stay up all night. We had everything packed up though, in case we needed to make a run for it. As soon as the sun came over the horizon, we got out of there. That day, after discussing it, we decided to put in a report with our police office, just to maybe warn others about someone out there that was acting unusual. We were surprised to get a call back later that day to have us come in for questioning about something. Turned out, the tent we saw belonged to a missing person that had been gone for over a month. They searched the area, but found nothing else. They showed us pictures of the missing person, and both Matt and I were sure it wasn't the person we saw, which is extremely disturbing. Likely that person had something to do with the disappearance of the other person, and had Matt not woken up and scared them off, I probably would have been missing too.
Damn, imagine.
Wix gives you the
Telling you,
freedom
bro.
to tell your story.
Always scary. Always scary, bro.
This was only a month ago. It was late September, and where I'm at, we were having a lot of rain. Pretty much every day, it was pouring down. I work as an outdoor security guard for a warehouse on the outskirts of the city, so rain doesn't exactly make my job any more enjoyable. Luckily, the company I work for lets me stay inside on rainy nights, but it always made the shift go by a lot slower. Instead of getting to roam around outside the building, I just had to stand by the glass entrance doors and watch for anything. Anyway, this night I got in at 9, locking up the place after all the employees left. It was pouring outside, so I stayed in and stood by the door, and honestly just tried to stay awake. There was nothing to see except rain and the occasional thunder and lightning. A few hours went by. During that time, I just leaned against the wall and made a few trips to the bathroom. But then, as I stood by the entrance doors, fighting to stay awake, there was a deep, creaking thud. It echoed through the whole warehouse. It sounded like bending metal, or maybe a heavy metal door scraping open. It was enough to make the hair stand up on the back of my neck. I was sure it was nothing and just a creepy sound because of the circumstances, but it was kind of my job to check on these things, so I walked down the hallway and looked
Kind of my
through
job,
each of the
bro.
corridors.
Kind of your job. It is your
I had
job,
never
bro.
actually explored
Like,
much of the
what?
warehouse, since I was usually outside. All I knew of was the one main hallway that had 5 or 6 corridors branching from it, leading to large open warehouse areas. I looked down each of these until I got to the last one. At the end, the door was cracked open. I felt a chill run through me, although I still didn't know if it was already opened or not. I walked over and opened it further. The whole room was dark. Hello? My voice echoed through the otherwise silent warehouse. After a few seconds, I started to step back and close the door until I heard something in front of me. It was a voice. It sounded like a man, either mumbling or softly laughing somewhere in the darkness near the tall shelving units. Is someone there? What the hell are you doing here? I called out. Come here. He said something softly. What? Come here. He said a little louder. Still, I couldn't see anything at all. After a couple more seconds, I said "F this" and closed the door.
Shit, I would too, bro. I would too.
The police and left the building through the front. 5 minutes later, they showed up and walked through the building. They came out alone. Security tapes were reviewed, showing what looked like a 50-year-old man with a dark jacket slipping in through a gap in one of the back garages. From there, he made his way into the warehouse room, where I heard him in. And disturbingly, on the footage, it looked like he was holding some kind of knife. He made his exit soon after I left. We don't know why he broke in, or what exactly he was trying to do by telling me to come into the warehouse. It might sound weak of me, but I quit after that and took up a day job instead.
Not that, bro. It's terrifying.
Camping out in the woods in the back of my property. I have a decent amount of forested land, so I like to make use of it and go for a casual camping trip every so often. Just a 10 to 15 minute walk out, I cleared a spot for a campsite. There was nothing special, like any views or lakes or anything. It was just a quiet place out in the woods to relax at. This was sometime in the middle of fall, and on this day, around 4 p.m., I headed down there. When I got there, I began putting everything together, and while I did, I happened to see someone walking out in the forest. They were only 100 yards out or something, but considering this was technically my property, it was a little bit strange for them to be out here. My land was bordered by other neighbors' land, too, so the only way to this spot was by trespassing. I wasn't really upset about it. I was just confused why and how they got here. They were walking away from the direction of my house, though, toward my neighbor's land, so I just let it be. Over the next 3 hours, I saw nothing else, and mostly just sat back in my lawn chair and relaxed to the sounds of the forest. The sunset fell over the trees and left the woods dark and foggy, so I lit up the fire pit I'd made and stashed it with some logs and sticks. It was just about an hour into the night, and as I was tossing more sticks into the campfire, I suddenly heard footsteps in the distance. I turned around and could hear someone running, like full-on sprinting through the woods, but it was pitch black out there. I just listened and followed the sound with my eyes as they ran past my campsite and deeper into the forest, slowly fading out. It was 100% a person, too, from the sound of it, but I'm not sure there's any explanation for what they were doing sprinting through the woods at night. It made me really uneasy. I thought about packing up and going home, but it sounded like they didn't notice me or didn't care to bother me, whoever it was. I figured I was okay, and if anything, at least it was just a quick run back to my house. I kept the fire up and stayed outside for another 2 hours. Aside from the running earlier, it was a very quiet night. Around 10, I let the fire fade out and got in my tent, falling asleep soon after. Of course, I wasn't asleep for long though. I woke up to sudden footsteps sprinting toward my tent. My eyes shot open and I sat up, hearing the footsteps come right up to the outside of the tent, then abruptly stop maybe a foot away. My eyes began adjusting to the dark, and through the thin fabric, I could see the silhouette of someone leaning back and forth, like they were trying to look through it. Then there was the sudden sound of something tearing. My eyes looked a little bit to the left, seeing a knife sliding across the fabric and cutting a slit into the tent. Through it, a pair of eyes pierced through at me.
What
I
the hell,
jumped
bro?
up and bolted out of the tent, screaming and yelling as I ran into the woods. The adrenaline kept me going all the way back to my house, and I didn't hear their footsteps behind me, so it seemed like they didn't follow. However, when I called the police, I looked out the back window and caught sight of a figure standing in the trees, watching me. When officers came, whoever was out there had left. In the morning, they came back out to investigate the campsite, but days passed with no leads. Not only was it terrifying that they were out in the woods on my property, running around at night with a knife and cutting open my tent, but they also followed me back to my house, so they knew where I lived. I was on edge,
I'm
barely
telling
getting
you,
any sleep
always
for the
carry,
next
bro.
month.
Second Amendment is there for you,
So
bro.
far, nothing else has happened. If
This-
anything does, hopefully I'll still be able to update you on it.
Yeah. The update. The update is him dying, bro. Imagine. Missing person.
So slow.
A few years ago, I was driving a few hours away to have Thanksgiving with my parents. The traffic was horrendous for the first half of the trip, but once I got out into the countryside where my parents lived, the roads cleared up. About 30 minutes before I got to their house, I realized I needed to get gas. Just then, I saw a sign telling me about a gas station at the next exit. There was no other sign saying there would be anything else there. That's kind of how it is in the country. When I
One
pulled
more
off the
video
highway,
and I'll probably call
I saw that
it.
the place was even more depressingly empty than I expected. Aside from the gas station, which still had old-style pumps, there were a
Cash
few
only.
other buildings that had been abandoned. I pulled up to a pump and saw a sign on it that said, "Cash only, no self-service." So I hopped out and headed into the store, noting that there were 2 cars parked outside. I walked
That's crazy,
in,
bro.
figuring I'd see someone at the register and some other person buying stuff, but it was totally empty. The bell above the door echoed through a totally silent, still environment. It smelled dusty and mildewy, with a bit of rusty metal in the air, as well as the wafting odor of someone taking a dump in the bathroom. I waited at the counter for about a minute before I started to get a weird feeling, like I wasn't supposed to be there. I peeked around the aisles and saw nobody.
I would have taken some shit,
When
bro.
I called out for someone to help
Nah,
me,
just playing.
I didn't get an answer. Finally, I found the bathroom door, tucked away in the back corner. The light was on too. I walked over to it, intending to knock. But then it suddenly swung open, and a man practically jumped out at me. He said there was a spill in there or something, so the bathroom was closed until he cleaned it up. I laughed and said that was okay since I wasn't far from my destination. I clocked him for having just blown up the toilet, as he was sweating and breathing heavily, and the air coming off him was very foul. After I told him I just needed to pay for some gas, we walked over to the counter together. I couldn't tell if he was new to the job or just embarrassed and flustered, as he seemed to struggle to carry out the transaction. When he finally got through it, he told me to have a good day. I reminded him that there was no self-service, so he had to come and pump my gas for me. He got really confused for a second, then kind of sheepishly asked me if I could try figuring it out on my own. I thought for a second, then shrugged and went along with it. I walked back to my car and tried to use the pump, but the thing was so old and weird that I got confused. I decided to walk back inside and get the attendant to do his job. But when I came through the door again, The man came storming back from the bathroom, screaming at me to get out of the store. He pointed to the door, and that's when I noticed blood on his hands. He realized I saw it too. We stared at each other for a few seconds, both of us unsure what to do. Then suddenly, he ran at me. I shoved him back, then bolted out the door. I ran back to my car as the man chased me, barely getting inside and managing to lock the door before he could get in. I frantically searched for my keys as the man tried to break through the window, frantically starting my truck and speeding out of the station. I tried to get back on the road as quickly as possible, but before I knew it, the man had gotten into his van and was still chasing after me. I floored it to get on the main highway, but he caught up to me on the ramp and rammed into the back of my truck. He was trying to run me off the road. On the highway, he got into the lane next to me and started creeping up on my left side. I knew he was trying to outmaneuver me, so I hit the brakes hard, causing him to soar past me. Nobody was on the road around us, so I made a highly illegal U-turn over the median and started driving the other direction. I didn't want him following me to my parents' house. I didn't know the extent of what this guy was capable of, but he was obviously unhinged and dangerous. Thankfully, the switch-up gave me enough time to get out my phone and call 911. I expected to see the van race up to me again, but by then, he had given up. However, I was so far out in the middle of nowhere that the operator told me it would take a sheriff 20 minutes to get there, which I knew gave that guy plenty of time to get away. I ended up going to my parents' place, but before we sat down for dinner, I got a call back from the cops. They wanted me to come to their station and make a statement. When I got there, one of the first things they told me was that the body of the store owner had been found in the bathroom, his stomach cut open and his bowel pierced, mixing fecal matter into the blood at the crime scene. The sheriff was an older man, probably had 30 years on the job. And by the look on his face, I could tell he'd never seen anything like it. I couldn't believe it either. The man I was in the store with wasn't even an employee after all.
This is
just a crazed killer. I told them everything I could.
Yeah.
I realized the odor I smelled wasn't funny at all, as it must have been the victim's internal feces. Unfortunately, they never caught the killer. They never figured out the motive either. The best I can figure is that I interrupted an amateur black market organ harvester. Every Thanksgiving, when people talk about stuffing and carving up turkeys, all I can imagine is that poor guy's mutilated corpse.
Console voice changer.
Damn, imagine.
The new voice mod key lets you do this.
What's up, squad?
A voice changer? All on console.
Sound off of the voice.
That's crazy. Alright guys, I'm gonna call it today. I'll probably stream later on tonight. Who knows? But yeah, I'll probably do some more of this if you guys like that, or me playing Fortnite, whichever one. But yeah, don't forget to follow me on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok, Game with Surge. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Alright, peace. Wait, can't even take it off yet. Hold on.